All right. For some reason, really fast. It seemed like things are recording a little better for some odd reason. Faster. Don't ask me why. If I had all the answers to everything, I would. It's funny because I go on eBay. Warrior Junior here. I go on eBay and imagine if you knew how much everything was worth. It's like if you knew everything, what everything was worth automatically, you could just you go through everything and you find the things. Okay, well that's oh, that guy wants $5 for it. Oh, it's 500. All right, boom, buy it fast. If we were machines. Um, I know it's like, well, you could take out one of these apps and you can. There's this one guy I saw in a thrift shop once. He basically was just taking out his cell phone and scanning every barcode of every book in the thrift shop, and I guess it just shows which how much he can sell it for, how much a store would pay for that. He's just going over every book. I wasn't even really looking at a title, just everything. I guess it's kind of like I was doing the same thing with coins. I was trying to find graded coins, gold coins that you could. They already like JM Bullion. They post their buy prices online. So just I remember when eBay used to have like their eBay bucks thing. And what I did was, it seems like it's a lot harder now. I can't even find any deals really on it. But I was remember I would buy like these commemorative gold coins, and then I would get like eBay bucks, and then I would take them to like a big show, and I wouldn't turn too much of a profit, but I would get the eBay bucks like $500 when they would give it. So then pay back the credit card company. I kind of try to leverage everything, and I've heard about this so many times. We'll get to the topic in a second, but the power of leverage. And I think that's what a lot of these people do in real estate. That have like commercial properties, buildings, and whatever they leverage. Leverage where they can borrow, go to the banks like, well, I want to buy this now that I own this, but I want to buy this. I want to borrow against so I can buy this, and then you know rent it out. You know what I mean? Like the place, and yeah, it's all a lot of work, but think about it. Like if somebody's paying the mortgage and you own the house, yeah, something breaks, you got to fix it, whatever. But it appreciates. The tenant, they're not building any equity. They're just occupying the place. They're just living there. So yeah, it's a lot more responsibility. It's a lot more money. It's a lot more work. But you know, you take the bad with the good. The good is you own the fucking property. It's yours. I had a friend. I haven't spoke to him in a while. I hope he's all right. But basically, he was telling me that he was buying these houses in like dilapidated areas in Ohio and wherever for like 15,000, some ridiculous number, and the people were paying like $500 a month rent. And yeah, things would break. You had to fix like a stove or whatever, stove heating, stuff. But it's like I asked him. I said, "What, you know?" So you're telling me that they could buy this house? Probably, if you can buy it, they could have bought it for 15,000, and they're paying $500 a month rent. I mean, what kind of backwards, you know, or whatever, 17,500 or whatever, even 25,000, whatever. You're telling me these idiots would spend $500 a month rent on a house that's only worth 25,000? I mean, what kind of backwards thing? It's no. I mean, I don't. Sounds far fetched. It sounds, but apparently it's like these kind of things happen. I don't get it. I don't. Well, maybe that these people they got no they got the Section 8 voucher or something, and you know they can't afford it. But still, 25,000. You tell me they can't go to a bank at a if they can afford 500 a month. They can't go get a 30-year mortgage on $500. I mean, sorry, on 25,000. It would be less. I don't care how high the interest rates are, but you know what? Don't believe everything you hear. I mean, you just can't. It's I know where I am. I know what I see around here, and I don't know how the hell people. You know what it is? It's like you got a million lawyers, you got a million people in real estate. They're all trying to somehow everybody survives somehow, because what it is it's like you take like the smallest deals, anything like that is better than nothing, right? It's like what I was trying to do was drop shipping. It's weird because like 2 3 years ago, like right before COVID came out, people were buying more online, the eBay and stuff, and I was selling everything from vacuum cleaners, laundry detergent, water filtration tablets, lots of things. People were because I just looked at what everybody else was selling, and I said, okay, well, I got to give eBay their 10%. I think it's 12.5 now, but and then basically, and they were okay with it. You just they buy it from you, and then you go to Amazon, and of course I check the prices first. I don't list something without seeing how much it's going to cost me first. But and then you put the pictures on, there, you're basically just copying what everybody else is doing. And but then your price has to be competitive, if not the best price, or else why would somebody buy off you? Why would somebody give you $10 for something if they can buy it for 9.75 off somebody else? I'll look at it like that. Where's the thing? And so I put on like these security cameras. Like they said it's the number one seller on Amazon, and I put their, they come in like you get two of them for like $40 or whatever, $30 for Amazon, free shipping. So I looked on eBay and I saw the same ones. They're $40 and $41. So I go, oh, there's room there. So I put, put them up there for $40.75, a quarter cheaper than the guy that's been selling 45 of them in the past 24 hours. No views, no buys, nothing. It's been like a week already almost. I just don't get it. And what it does, the reason I mention this is because what it does when you don't see any success, it just what it does for me, it just makes me not want to fucking. I don't see anything coming in, not even $6. I can't even make. The chai spice tea right here, nice and hot. Can't beat. I always say this: can't beat hot cup of tea when it's cold outside, or in my place, cold inside. Um, so what I was saying was, it just when you don't see any success, even the smallest success, anything, it just like breaks my spirit to want to do anything. Like I'm finishing up these two health classes right now, and there's one professor who's dragging his feet. There was an assignment that was due November the 20th. Today's December the 6th. It was like a week off after whatever, and he came out. But the whole doesn't fucking matter. I sent him an email yesterday. I go, when's the grades gonna post? Because soon. I'm getting around to it. And they want us to like write us, at the end of these classes, we write like a survey of any problems with it. And I could I just the professor holds the power, of the grade. So I don't like to put, this guy was slow and learned nothing. I'm paranoid to really be honest about how I feel, because now when you start fucking with, but that's their job now. They get paid to do this. And you go ahead and you write a bad survey and it gets around to them somehow. Um, it's not good. It's like I'm in two schools. I'm working on a dissertation. And my other college that I'm doing, and I just this guy, he's supposed to like post the points, like I know, there's dissertation, either you pass class or you don't, but he's supposed to put these points alongside the comments for each of my there's the try saying that fast, dissertation manuscript revisions, and he doesn't put the points there. So I was going to contact somebody higher up than him, saying, "Hey, this guy, he's not doing." Yeah, well, then that gets back to him, and then he's saying, "Oh, well, this fucking student, he fucking, said something, went to the higher ups over me. I'm gonna fuck him now, So no, I'm well aware that what can go around comes around. So it's better just sometimes to just say, all right, no, just shut up and pass a fucking class, and just don't tell these people how to do their jobs. It'd be funny if it was like leadership. It is actually educational leadership. Yeah, don't try to lead the professors. They will fucking. I've had this before. They will put you in your place. Unless you are a doctor, they are they're a doctor, of education, and you're like don't have yours yet. They look down on you. You don't have it yet, so don't think you are until it's like I think it was in the military. You go to officers training, and I've seen this thing where, yeah, you start off in officer training, let's say Army, National Guard. I think you give you E5. It's not staff sergeants, Air Force, just sergeant. So you are a sergeant when you go in. You're not like a private or something. And the people that are running the drill instructors or whatever, they're higher than sergeants. They're like, they're E8s, E9 maybe, E8 or whatever. You're up there, and so you are beneath them. And but then when you graduate, you're O1. They actually salute you. You actually rank above them, but you don't. If you're just a brand new officer, you don't go around telling somebody that's been enlisted for 20 years how it goes down. It just doesn't work that way. I saw something interesting about this new way of Army um, basic training where they don't like cuss you out anymore. It's like, because, and that makes sense. We can take that to the real world. Just cuss you out, then you cuss somebody else out. That doesn't. It's not a way to. Well, the way we did it, back in the Vietnam days, we broke you down to build you up our way. It's like, yeah, I understand that, but the bad language shows unprofessionalism. Well, war is not, war is war. It's not pretty. I know that. I'm well aware. Um, I don't know why I'm talking. I just, you know what, I just been watching shit here and there sometimes, and it gets my mind off of, you know, unnecessary stresses. I don't like watching too much mindless entertainment because that again, if your mind's not working and you're watching other people do, what the fuck does it say about you? You're watching other people succeed and you ain't doing nothing. I got this Goylem friend, he's a good guy, but he just doesn't do anything to move forward in life, no matter what. He goes back, he goes and he makes a couple bucks, he goes back and plays cards. Think about that. If you're going to a fucking card club, these places, you're paying to sit there. You're paying to fucking sit there. I don't watch these professionals, whatever, but you know what? A lot of them get sponsorship. They got a lot of money behind them. They're not compulsive. Not like my friend. He's like poor. He works handing out flyers, doing all these things. And sometimes he'll make 300 a day. Like it's a big hit. He'll take that fucking money. He'll go down to a fucking bicycle club, a casino, and whatever. Sit there, play for 4 or 5 hours, as long as it lasts, and then the blinds eat you up. The bad beats will eat you up. You win a little bit, but then you keep playing and you give that, the cards go, the hands go around for everybody. Everybody knows how to fucking play. It's not difficult. You sit there and he goes, and I remember one guy, one time I really thought this was a skill set. Like I played, I was at the MGM, I was playing, and I folded pocket queens, because I knew I was beat. The guy goes, "Whoa, what are you, a mind reader or something?" That doesn't mean they're gonna give me the fucking cards. It doesn't sit there wait till you get the cards. Yeah, you know what? It's not that simple. You can lose with good hands. The variables can kill you. All these guys. I almost said Craig Ferguson, the Jesus Ferguson, the Tom Vu. Yeah, he played cards too, but no, that Asian guy, Johnny Chan, whatever, all these guys, they hit something big. They hit the World Series, the main event. That's how they snowballed their life. They got sponsorship after that, the money maker, whatever. All those guys hit something really, really, really big to where they can play, and it's like, it's not, they're on television, they're getting sponsorship or whatever, and then everybody watches this stupid shit and they think they can do it too. So, anybody can sit there and wait for a hand, or say, oh, not what you're not getting is that it's not, it feels like work, but it's not work. It's not work because it's not consistent. Sorry, the light keeps going out. Not consistent money coming in. It feels like work. And that's the illusion of you sitting there, money in action, hoping you're going to win, making, oh, I wait a little bit. Okay, I can get up now. Yeah, you getting up, where are you going? And you come back, and then if you're down, you want your money back. And if you're up, you're like, well, how much did I get for all this time? What I get? Look, man, I've done it all. I thought playing tournaments. I thought, just doing that. And, what happened was that I remember I played in like a $600,000 Texas Hold'em tournament, and this one I went all in. I think I had like three of a kind, and the next card I think gave me a full house. I think it was, and then the river, this guy showed like a jack. He got like it was jack, jack, jack. He got four of a kind. He got four jacks. He killed me. I had jacks. I had a full house, and he had four of a kind. And everybody goes, "Whoa!" Everybody except me. It knocked me out, and I wanted, like, I just wanted to fucking yell at everybody, you fucking idiots, you rubbing it in on me. I was eliminated. I was eliminated, and so I sat there for hours and hours and hours waiting for my hand, and I thought I got it, like, and I bet it before the end. I said, okay, all in. It's time to go. I got like a full house. Good 99% of the time. What are you gonna fucking do? And the last card came out Jack. He gave him four of a kind. He beat me, knocked me out. $600,000 tournament. Okay, so I got zero, paying entry fees, 500, 400, 300. All this fucking money, putting into this, your time, your energy, everything. You're sitting there, these fucking people, and then they rub it in on you. You get knocked out. It's you know remember the MGM I was playing one tournament. I made the final table with this one guy next to me had a gold. He had one of he was wearing a bracelet, and this one guy next cup to same table. He had the guy was like a pro there, Ari Engel. Yeah, $7 million, and I'm there, and I said to myself, if I sit here long enough, I could be like one of those guys. I could be a pro with a bracelet one day. And I just, you know, I just couldn't get to that point. I just couldn't like win any tournaments or something to like build something, to have something to become. I just, again, these things, that tournament, that one with those guys that, I came in like eighth or something. I got nothing. Then that other tournament knocked out zero, zero. I mean, my record, the most money I ever cashed, I got $600 for $100. It was $100 tournament with 100 rebuys, so I actually paid 200 to be in there, and I made the final table in it. There were like, I guess, six tables when it started. I made the final table, so I got $600. But then I lost $600 in the tournament before, so I didn't get nothing. Then the day before, I played in this tournament at the Orleans Hotel. I remember I didn't have time to go eat. It's ridiculous. I missed the money by like one place or something that I just, you know, I kind of had enough at that point. I'm really, finally, when they gave a break, it was like a 1 hour break. I was so hungry. I just got there to Vegas, and I had like barely any chips left. I remember like 45th place. I was in 45th place. I think, 42nd or something. Got like $400, and I said, "There's no way I'm going to win this thing." It just broke my spirit, and I just said, "Fuck it, I don't care." That's the problem with Vegas, like it has like this low life kind of thing. Like it's like so these casinos around there, but then you're saying, okay, well, what am I gonna do? And that's all there is. I know it was off the strip. If you go more towards Summerlin or out toward the Red Rock, the areas, it's residential more. It's not more. There's other gyms. There's other things to do. You go hiking, whatever, dancing. But I don't know. Like for me, like you put me in that middle element, and I'm, I mean, it's just a kind of a difficult thing. Like when I flew out there to play in these tournaments, and I played in the World Series, one of the side events is a $1,500 buy-in, and I got knocked out. Again, I don't even. Yeah, I remember all these things. I had four of a kind like four times. Everybody folded. I thought for sure I was gonna like be like the chip leader or something. Nothing, nothing. It was ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous. And then I got eliminated from that. And then I went to Paris. Yeah, had like had like $1,500 left after I went there with 3 grand. I dropped 1,500 in that tournament. And I lost $1,000 playing Pai Gow poker trying to get my entry money back from that fucking World Series event. So I lost 1,000 at Paris. So now I'm down 2,500. It was just all bad. And then I came back here, lost whatever I had. There's the bicycle club. So it just leads very bad. Like I remember that. Yeah, it's so hard to accumulate money. It's so easy to blow it, but that losing it is like the worst. I know there's sayings and money won is twice as sweet as money earned. Yeah, you know what though? Money lost is 1,000 times worse than money earned. It's yeah, leads me to the topic. I watched this thing on YouTube. I saw this fairly attractive woman, and she was talking about, oh, she went from 0 to 1 million, this and that. I don't, for some reason, I just don't like listening to women talk about financial advice and how to do things. I relate more to guys, dudes and stuff, and I just don't like listening to women talk about money. I actually don't like women, talking about anything, really. I just don't. And I'll tell you why. They've shafted me pretty much my entire life. You know, I have gone out dancing thousands upon thousands of nights, gone to things like that, trying, just to do my thing. And you would think organically, naturally, you would meet somebody. There were some times, some women tried to approach me, and I was very ego maniacal, wrong word, but ego, very combative. And women didn't want to care to know why. They just typecast me as being a negative person, bad energy, whatever. And wherever I went, we tried speed dating, tried all these things. Then when I try to approach women, I have mother hens coming up to me. I could just story after story after story after story. And this even goes back even a couple months ago. What happened at the fucking place in Montclair, whatever, the 80s place. whenever I fucking tried, or and finally, like I paid for these three women to go and dancing, and one that I liked, she danced with me, and whatever, and then they left. I gave her my card. She never called. It's just so. It's like it just the track record over my entire life of trying to meet women and trying to be myself and just whatever. It's never good enough. And what happened was I just don't wanna like I don't I can't meet their standards. I can't become a success. I'm trying, like, for me, but no matter what they just will not give. They just won't give whenever I see something that's decent. And so I listened to this fucking woman, Hormozy or whatever her fucking name is. That's her last name. And I'll tell you, she married. Okay, so, and I knew that name sounded familiar too. And she gives her brief story. She goes, oh, I was drinking in Michigan, whatever. I get arrested all the time. So I moved out. I want to get into fitness. So I moved out to LA, whatever, California. She got a job at a fitness place. And of course, she's decent looking. So, of course, you're going to find somebody and I wrote a comment about, yeah, it's easy for you. Any woman in good shape, that's all she has to do is come out here and just go to these places. You're going to get hit on. You're going to get pick whatever guy you want. It's an easy thing for them. They have it easy. They have it easy. I'm sorry. I watched this woman on YouTube. She claimed she was homeless, Santa Barbara, whatever. Then she Ventura County, whatever. All in with Ali, whatever that's her name. And she comes out to LA, whatever, and they put her in a fucking show, whatever. Like working with somebody. It doesn't. They got it easy. I'm telling you, if they're decent looking, plus whatever, they're gonna get opportunities. They're gonna get. I don't care. A guy who's it doesn't matter. Getting opportunities. Getting opportunities lead to bigger things generally. I've been around too long. I just and so that's just the way it is. Like the world goes the way it is. Guys are horny. They want that are successful. Whatever they see these women, they can offer them. They have the power to do so. And this Hormozy guy, he knows a lot about. I've seen. He's built, knows about fitness. He already has money. Already had his business. I guarantee the guy already had fucking money. And she goes, oh, well, we met this guy, then we started this thing together. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt the dude was already doing shit on his own. And, he probably was already pretty successful and, you know, took her in, kind of thing. Saw that that's all it is. I see so many women in fitness and they find, now that guy, he has power, like when you have money like that, a woman's going to be drawn to that, to do that. The fitness because she can have, it's like it's easy. It's just like the reason. Look, nothing is magic. There's a reason why J Lo is with Ben Affleck. Yeah, it doesn't take too much to figure it out. Yeah, she has money, but the thing, it doesn't matter. She doesn't have an Academy Award. What he has, he's worth like 100 to 150 million. So there's your like she's worth 100 million. Yeah, again, you don't understand. He has something that she wants. Not gonna literally take his Academy Award, but I know what it is. It's that. That's all it is. That's all it is. Or else there's no other fucking reason for it. Like I guess she's worried because age is starting to add up, and she's like, well, yeah, he's good, because I did a movie with him, when I was young, and it reminds me when I was young. So, it's not complicated. Think about it. When a dude is worth 100 million plus, Think about how much power that gives you. Think about that. Like you could walk around, literally, you could walk around Beverly Hills, and most of those people walking around, they're just tourists, whatever, or they might live around there. They ain't worth 100 million. They're not. They're not. There's the people that are working in those stores. They're hand to mouth. They might be wearing nice suits, because they're working outside, but they have nothing. Believe me, they're barely surviving with anything. Their dream is that somebody wealthy would hire them, to be their indentured servant. I'm sorry to use that term, but it's true. Like a butler or whatever, a limo driver. Just you think like that's why they're there. They're hoping their ship comes in. I'd rather kill myself than cater to the rich. Like I really would, because they just look down on you. The valet driver. I'd rather just I would at this age I wouldn't I wouldn't want to be alive if that was if that was my only option. I wouldn't want to live because that's not living. That's holding the door for celebrity. You know, why don't I just lay down so they can step on me? Like as they step into their car. I'm sorry. That's just how I think. I can't be a slave. I'm not. I've fought too hard. I've done things that 99% of people they wouldn't persevere for. I couldn't be like one of these schlep rocks, these Lemical goylons that most people are, catering to these people, these wealthy. Like I know it takes people to do that, but I'm not one of them. And you know what? I wouldn't treat people if I was wealthy. I wouldn't belittle people. Like I just want to make that clear. Like if I ever had money, I mean real money, then I wouldn't get off by putting people down. Like you see, the people think that they think, oh, that makes me higher by making sure that you're lower. I understand the connotation, the symbolism of it, but there's no there's no justification for it. Like I wouldn't like I just that's why I don't like Beverly Hills. A lot of these places. I was going to tell you a couple of things. Crossing the street, I was going to the market today. I was about 40% of the way through it's a short, you know, cross. It's only about 25 feet or whatever, maybe a little more. No, this car, didn't even look to see that I was halfway through the street, which I had the right of way. Of course, the green was pedestrian walking, and the car. Yeah, I just walked back to the sidewalk, and I said to myself, I'm not going to get mad over things I can't control. Guy didn't even apologize, just kept going, and I just crossed the street. But also, I was in like the market today, getting some stuff, and this really big, disheveled, homeless kind of guy. If I didn't move out of the way, he put his hand up, like he had to go that direction. Like couldn't walk around me. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of boxing lately. And this guy looked like, man, his fingernails were filthy. Like this guy, I don't know how the hell that guy got in that store. Like, what security didn't come in there and say, hey, I can't have you in here. Like I'm really surprised they let these people come in. Like I moved. Like just for my own safety. Like, I was like, Jesus, it was like a fucking swamp thing guy. He was coming like right at me. It was really, really surprising. I remember I said one time, I used to go to that dancing in Irvine, Orange County. If I ever make it successful, I'm not going to give a woman anything. I'm not going to give them anything. And I know a woman overheard me say it, and it's just, I don't care because I can't believe that being a good person, it doesn't shine. No, it does, it doesn't shine in a way that is important. I mean, the divorce rate is so high in Southern California for a reason. And I think it's just a scam that most women, employ, that they're using. It's like legal robbery. It is. And you're a fool if you're a guy, a high net worth guy, and you get taken in for this kind of thing where you give a woman the keys to the vault, and then they just don't like you. That's all they have to do is change their mind. They marry you, and then it's just good acting. They act like they love you, and then they leave, and they kill you. They take you for half. Look what happened to Hulk Hogan. Look what happened to just one guy. They could wipe you out. Now you got a name, you can all make money back. Yeah, but think about that. The Warriors take, they take, and you're just like, wow. I'm never gonna. I can't have a woman do that to me. I know the scam. I know the scam. It's a scam. You know. The odds are it doesn't work. 66% in Southern California. It doesn't work for a reason. In a way, it's like you're lucky because if you do have, you become a bigger target. It's like those opportunists that that rob these ladies. They have these giant, big purses. I saw video of it. They're these, Schwarzes, opportunists. They took these women's bags, and one woman, she wouldn't let go. She was holding on to her bag, and literally the guy was pulling the fucking bag, but he ripped it out of her hand. It was like a wild monkey. Like I saw video of it. It was crazy. Old security guy. I go, where were you? He goes, I was in the halls. I wasn't working yet. So stupid. They should, like, how come the bank's not open? When the sun goes down, when the banks close at 5, it's not open at night for a reason. Can't afford to hire a security guy the second the sun goes down, It's so stupid. This whole fucking, I don't care. I do my fighting, like my practice every day, my boxing, and my stuff to keep myself in good shape, just in case, like a spare tire, just in case somebody tries to fuck with me. I know I don't look like anything, and that's fine, but you try to fucking one up me, they're going to be very surprised what I can do. Very surprised. I have this friend, he works out all the time, and I'm sure, I wouldn't, you know, he's really terrified of, homeless and creatures out there at night. And I said, dude, what do don't worry about any of these fucking people. They get in your face, fucking kick them in the face, whatever. And he has this other friend that this guy, but he's like kind of like a real mark, like doesn't he's young, he doesn't know how to take care of himself, and he's not in shape, fat, whatever. And some hooligans jumped him. Guy's walking around. He's really could walk all the way to the city from the valley. I go like once a month he does it or something, and he's he just set himself up for something like that, And if you're not aware of your surroundings and you're not look like you can handle yourself, and if you can't, there's thugs out there. They look for easy targets, and that guy was, you know. I don't know what they got off that guy. I mean, it doesn't have nothing. What the fucking they mugged him. Mugged him for what? What did you get? Nothing. The guy walking around with nothing, he can't get nothing. I'm laughing. I know it's sad, but it's so stupid. Who carries cash on them? It's like, fuck. That's why that's the one good thing about nowadays is no one has any money. It's all credit. Yeah, try to use my credit card. See what happens to you. Um, but anyway, it's just I'm glad that I kind of am aware of all this kind of bullshit. I remember this older women, the homely women, were walking behind me one time. They go, "Oh, the divorce was awful." They were talking about their friends. Yeah, sure, real awful. Yeah, you know what? Your friend or whoever, your woman, she's gonna be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's always look. Listen, there are women that are self-made. I'm not, but the majority, it's guys that have fucking money. These women that are latching on, and then oh, it doesn't work out. They just divorce. They take half, whatever. It's so easy, robotic, linear, and mechanical. So don't give me this thing. That woman that came out from Michigan again, she's got yeah. Look, in her mind, she got a job at 24 Hour Fitness. She came all the way out here, got her job. But you know what? That's the that's the extent of what she had to do. That's all it is. She found somebody with money and just latches on. That's all. It's so easy for them. It really, really, really is. Now I know there's women that go to college. A majority of women are in college. They get educated. Look, but that degree don't fucking guarantee you fucking jack shit. It doesn't. I have four of them. Again, I'm a guy. It's not, you're not a woman with big tits or anything. These women, look, it's like, I don't think I know one woman really that has a problem meeting and getting it. No, I've never met one. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. They all hold the cards. They hold the cards when it comes to, because they go, look, if a woman goes to a nightclub, a bar, whatever like that, they're getting bombarded with offers. It doesn't matter if guys want to fuck it. It doesn't matter. They're getting offers. Offers equate to opportunities. It doesn't matter if it's for modeling, it's for acting, it's for wanting to date you. It doesn't matter what it is. I remember my friend did this short film. It was called The Beaten Path. Yeah, and it's like this boy, his girlfriend at the time was like one of the stars, and she comes out to L.A. and this guy picks her up in this convertible, and she's like looking around Hollywood Boulevard, she's in the passenger seat looking, and it shows like these all these guys, they all want to fuck her, they offering, and that's like opportunity. It doesn't mean you have to do. It means they can pick and choose. Do you know how many women in my entire life? Okay, I'm 49 years old. Do you know how many women in my entire life have ever offered me anything? Have ever offered really? It's like nothing. Barely. It's nothing. A woman gets they get everything. They get everything. Okay. And that's why that nurse, that's why they gave her my card and she just put me in the category of just another guy that at the end, that once the, um, the adrenaline kind of, wear it off kind of thing. That's my fault, like I needed to ask her for her fucking phone number. I know. I just thought not to be so persistent. I thought a little bit too much at the end there. That's on me, that I fucked up. But hopefully life is a learning experience, and you gotta really learn because it's very. I remember the security guy told me this at that '80s bar. I go all the way out there. I'm in like Beverly Hills adjacent. West Hollywood, Beverly Hills adjacent, and this place is fucking far. This is in Montclair, Claremont. And even out there, the guy told me this. He goes, "It's rough out there, bro." Out there, he told me that. And I go, I'm going like 50 miles, to go dance out here to get away from the faggot. I'm sorry. It's just it's the anger, that comes out. The West Hollywood, LA vibe thing to get the fuck away from this, to try to go to someplace maybe to meet somebody more authentic or something. And he even told me out there, he goes, "It's tough, bro." That's what he told me out there. It's tough out there, bro. He told me. I go to Vegas thinking, maybe you might find somebody more authentic, out there dancing, when you're going. It's all I see are fucking ghetto street trash walking around. This one woman that was not bad, but she's selling some. I don't know what the fuck she was doing, sitting out there. She goes, "Oh no, I got kids. I got some." It's like, what? I can't. You know. I just say to myself, there ain't no. I remember like every fucking time I've tried, it's always a fucking answer why no. Like why somebody can't, why. I know it's just so depressing. It agitates me because the natural human dynamic is that men and women are supposed to be together. You should be able to meet somebody that water seeks its own level. Like that you persevere. There should be somebody out there. And here I go all the way to this fucking running thing. I do it for me. You think you might meet somebody out there. Well, that wasn't on my birthday. It wasn't my intention to try to meet people, but you would think there'd be a natural organic chemistry. So wherever you go, that you really tried to change your life and things, and these good things would happen. And now I'm gonna stress this point. To some extent, it does. Like I have to admit, like I rebuilding my credit, getting approved for another card. It's like, wow, okay, and paying off things, having some extra money, little things. But the woman thing, for some reason, is like to me the most difficult. It's the most difficult because it really. My friend Newman, he goes, "What do you got to offer?" Like you just cut right to the chase kind of thing. It's like, well, what do they got to offer? They're just gonna let me fuck them? Like that's all that they have? What do they got to offer? You want to put it in brass tacks terms like that. I can be brutally honest as well. So you know, you can put a price tag on that pussy and the age or whatever, the looks, whatever to it, and you want to be brutal like that. I can be as brutal as they come. with it, so don't say that, what do you got to offer, like, this is not supposed to be a whore John relationship, you know. My friend Newman has like $1 million house, he get taken to the fucking cleaners too, but I think he's smart enough to know that the way the game is played out here, and it's amazing that so many guys fall for it, but again, the numbers don't lie. Um, so don't let this be misconstrued as that I hate women or anything. It's not true. It's anything. No, it's just I think that what was supposed to be like the right way, the natural, organic way of meeting women, has been it's in a fog due to I'm trying to say this the easiest correct way. I'm saying that money gets in the way. Because everywhere you go, they show you pictures, Rolex and the hair, like everything that costs a lot of money, luxury things, and the women see all that and they want all that, so they will do anything it takes to get that. So they'll be somebody that they're not being their true authentic self, and when they're not, then what happens is that they have to create a facade to to try to make that up, and the work that it takes to create that fake version of themselves, it doesn't allow them to be who they really are, and all of those things add up. So what you get are, you get, it adds up to a very difficult, impossible thing for somebody like me to meet somebody, because um, you're for those reasons. I mean, you might be an authentic good person that sincerely looking for somebody, but when you're seeing these women that are doing all those things that I just previously described, they're looking for all those things that they see, the wealth, that they feel that sense of entitlement, you know, and unfortunately, many of the guys that even if they don't have, they you know, I know I'm rambling. I'm just trying to. It's like it's not complicated, but it's kind of hard to explain it through decompartmentalization. Like to be able to break it down and say, okay, well, this is the reason why this is. But I think I've done a pretty fair job at describing um, how this works. It's people want to step up, and I understand that, but and if I'm wrong about all this, then explain why the divorce rate is so high here. Why is it so high then? Well, people getting divorced, they're not getting along. Then why were they getting along previously then? See, I can counter. You're not going to win this argument because the facts, the mathematics and the facts do not lie. People get divorced mainly over money. Well, what do you mean? Okay, what? Because the guy would spend so much on her, or bills? What exactly? Doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. The bottom line is divorce rate is that percent. The bottom line is people get divorced over money. That's the bottom fucking line. They shouldn't even be together to begin with. But the guy is horny and the woman sees security. So the guy fucks her until he gets tired of it. So now he's tired of it. And the woman has her security. So now that he's tired, now the arguing starts to, he's doesn't have to like put her on a pedestal anymore because, it's there's no challenge anymore. Like he's fucked her already. He knows what it's like. It's not a big deal. So now the arguing starts, and then she's like, "Well, then I'm out of here." They're out of here, but she gets half. So the woman has everything to gain by the divorce. The guy doesn't have to be with her anymore, and he loses half of his net worth or whatever. It's just so simple. Well, what about the prenuptial agreement? You know what? Doesn't matter. Even that, the lawyers have to come in and do that. That all costs money anyway. So, when you look at all this, you think like, what do you get more bang for the buck? Like, what do you get? What do you get if a woman says, well, they love you, and everything, but then they leave you? Or what about the guy leaving her? See, I can play from all angles. It's not, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is you're going to be fucking losing if it doesn't work out. And think about it, you're investing your time and your energy with somebody that can just decide that it's not worth it. Like they can leave you and take. That's why I said that I would never give them anything. Now I do give, what I call a couple golden rat turds. It's $100 bills, a couple, to have a little bit of fun. That's it. Some a little bit more than others, but that's it. But as far as meeting somebody, like, a woman that's going to be my age or around there, that just wants somebody nice, there's too much proof to show that they're lying to themselves. And if they're 50 years old or whatever, 49, they've already been around. They're worn out. They're worn down. They don't look like nothing like they used to. There's no fucking way. I don't care who. They don't got the energy. There's nothing there. I was crossing the street. A woman came up behind me, with this bag. I'm sorry. I'm just. So that's what happens. You live in an area long, it beats you down. You're supposed to befriend them. You're supposed to befriend them to get to the. You know what? You can only try so. You only can put so much energy into something and get nothing. Till something just gives you no hope. And it all goes back to what I said about, you know, doing like I said, listing stuff and nobody's buying, or professor's not grading anything, so like it makes you not want to fucking do it. Anyway, I was crossing the street and thought they were going into this one place, but then they ran to make it across the street. She went by me. She was like really happy and everything, and I just had my groceries. What am I gonna? I just didn't feel like saying anything because it's. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna fucking get? You know how many times I've tried to talk to women and they just, oh, have a good night. So what? That ain't gonna get me nothing. that gay guy, and even if they engage in their conversation, I've been around, people, their needs are met. It's a very, very difficult thing to get what you want, okay? The more powerful you are, if you're a Leonardo DiCaprio, Arnold, whatever, it's a different story. Otherwise, it's very difficult, to show, unless you got some extreme power that you can show that you're a producer or something, gives you more power to get what you want. But otherwise, it's that difficult. It's that difficult. I had a friend. I think he moved to Thailand or China or something. Took his 500,000 there, but he's been overseas. He's been. I ain't going overseas to try to meet a woman. I know I've seen some incredible things, some videos of, like, was it a nude beach like in Italy or something? And there's some women there, incredible bodies, and that, like, here you would never see anything like that. You wouldn't. It's like it feels like in LA there's like a scarcity as far as getting a woman like that you're attracted to. Like it's incredibly difficult kind of thing. And I think I know why. I think what it is the top like 3% of guys that are very powerful. They're getting everything, and then everybody else is like the bottom feeders. Trying. It was like, hey, what's we're we're on the ground. The crabs on the ground of the ocean, while the real fucking predators are at the top. They're able to. The great white sharks, the DiCaprios. That's what they are. They're the killers. They're the ones that have. Like for whatever reason, You know how many fucking guys that see to me, they're trying to be actors, or they never hit nothing. Like you know, or they were, and where the hell did they go? Mark Singer, like, what the fuck happened to these people? They're not around. They did something, like had a little bit of run from a long time ago, and that's it. And they're living off of that money, or the something else. I don't know. That's all I know is that you know you got to have power and you got to have success, and that's it. You got to have something, and the bar is very, very, very high. And it's very high for me. That's how I look at it. There's a lot of wealth, like I said, Beverly Hills adjacent, east or west or north, wherever in LA now, and you just don't shine like who you are, your quality of character, which to me is the most important thing. But what's that song? The Beatles. They're love ain't gonna pay my bills. I need money. Now again, they didn't say quality of character. He said that love's not gonna pay the bills. So I understand like what that means, but I think that divorce rate is that high because their women are choosing a guy based on their hierarchy and their status over their quality of character and who they are. You could be a piece of shit person and have a nice house and have money, and you could be a great guy and live, and hand to mouth and barely have a roof over your head. But the woman, what they see is the palace. They see, not like, in the movies, oh, she chose him because he's such a good person. No, no. If Ben Affleck was not worth in excess of $100 million, J-Lo would not be with him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It matters the power, the money. That is everything. Again, and that's because of the media's portrayal. Again, the signs of Rolex, hair places, all these things, the beauty, the skincare things, all to appease whatever. Now, again, those people are the top of the top of the rare exceptions. But most people, they will all want to be. Any decent looking woman thinks that she can be too. Like, I want to be, I want to, and they're getting reassurance from all these guys that are getting hit on all the time. So they're getting you know, like I said, like that woman that came out from Michigan, you know, it's all she had to do. She showed up here, got a job at a 24-hour fitness. Next thing you know, hit on by not just the guys working there, but everywhere around, whatever. She went to some like marketing thing, met some guy that was in shape that was also, well, yeah, I got my own fitness company. She didn't start anything with him. He was already making, he was already got his ball rolling. You don't need her, okay? You don't need her. These guys that got money, they don't need these women. What they do is they take these women because they're horny. They're like a normal man. A normal man doesn't, you know, sit and let me see, watching Chabberbait or Cam Soda or fucking you know the porno, you know, all the time. But unfortunately, when you're a bottom feeder, you know, see that a crab on the thing, me, you know, I'm down there. Um, that's all you got, you know, like that. That's and every once in a while, you know, you can call up one of these floozies that I know. I know a couple of them, a couple. When I say I think I know three, um, four. There's one in Irvine, but she's a nothing, you know. I'm sorry, you know, just it's just so disheartening that something that should be normal, you know, you would think, but again, you know, when you're living in abnormal environments where these gays are all like, you know, fighting equality, equality. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't, you know, what you're trying to get is irrelevant. Like for me, I don't care. It's like Republican or Democrat. Like I don't care. But you know the laws and everything. I don't care. I don't care because I know that it doesn't matter who wins. Like the people, the real powerful people control everything anyway. They get their way anyway. So these morons like my friend that watches CNN all the time, he doesn't understand that there's a whole thing going on behind, you know, that decides like, you know, who gets what and who is thing. It's not the people don't decide. People may vote, but your vote it doesn't matter because the powerful that make things happen, the powerful people that made all this shit happen, that created 9/11, that created COVID, all these things, they don't come out of nothing. They're designed to happen for a reason. What reason? It doesn't don't you know what any more, people that question that that's not what's important. What's important is the things that happen, not who makes them. That doesn't matter because if your mind can't even understand why things have happened, then you can't even you can't put together the puzzle to figure out who does what. It doesn't matter. Everybody wants to know. Like it's like saying, well, you know, what's 2ab plus xy. You don't even understand the question. You want to know the answer, but you don't even understand how to do algebra. So do you understand? So if you don't even understand how to read the question properly and understand the language of algebra, then the answer is irrelevant. You wouldn't be able to understand the answer. I mean, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So all these things, you know, most of these people, they just watch the television, they watch these things, and that's what they want to get their answer, their information that way. And, you know, it's not scholarly sources, it's not real information. It's just you know, their way of, you know, arguing a round table. You know that they look because you could put that's all you can take. You can take four people and they all have different opinions, and they could argue till the cows come home. I mean, really, you could have hours and hours and hours of endless counter arguments between all four people and say, because they all disagree with each other. They can just keep it. It never ends. It never fucking ends, and that's what CNN became. It became this arguing roundtable, or like somebody reporting, you know, and that rich fag, the fag of Gloria Vanderbilt, that guy, like they put him on. You know, it comes from money. He comes from money. He doesn't need all these people. See, and that's what they want. They give the people that have, they give them everything. They give the rich, they give them everything. They already have. Somebody, do you have any idea how much $100 million is? I think about that. 100 fucking million. I mean, that's like, it's an unfathomable amount of money. It's unfathomable. And then you want to 10x that to a billion? It's like, and then there's people with 50. It's absolutely unfathomable. What now? Again, the how many people are worth that? Compared to how many people are. Just like I said, most people in Beverly Hills, they're poor at catering to the rich. In front of these working in these stores or whatever like that. They're the pretty girl, whatever like that. That's all she is. She doesn't have anything. You know, she's hoping like some rich celebrity comes in there and picks her up. Like but that's it. That's not how. I mean, that woman will still get offers, from things like, but that's all that they have. Once that currency is gone, well, never will be, but they settle for less. Let me give you an example before I get off of this. There's this porn chick that I know, and she's a couple years older than me. And she had her run like in the mid 90s, okay? And then she worked even like, I don't know, 15 years ago in some, then stopped doing movies because, she started to get a little bit older, working in strip clubs, whatever. And then that's what happens is guys slowly start the pool of men that offer, it starts to go like this, it starts to dwindle down, right? And eventually, like, but at the very end, it's like there's only a couple, it's like that's it, there's little bits here and there. Now this woman is probably getting, when she was doing porn, you understand, adjusted for inflation movies, I don't know. Who knows what she was getting? I never asked her how much she was getting per scene. But when I call her up, I give her a golden rat turd, $100, for a little bit of fun, and that's all it is. It's a little bit of fun, a quickie, thing, and she used to be a little more generous to me, but I guess over the years she's tightened up, but still that's all she'll get off of me. And now, you go back far enough, that was like just nothing for her, $100. A woman, at a strip club can make $700 a night, and that's individual. They split it up between the girls, they each get that, because they get these fucking, plenty of fucking guys, college kids, rich Persians, whatever, they all go to the strip club and they're throwing the money in there, and then like, one of those guys, like they see, yeah, her, like they see her on the stage. So okay, first guys throwing all the singles, it's like that's the chump change, But then some guy puts like a five on there. It's like, whoa, wow, the girl's like, wow, or 10 or 20, whatever. And then he goes, I want to lap dance with her. So like now, oh, you want to lap dance with me? So it's like $40 right there. So you go in the back, whatever, the lap dance. And so like, you want to do another song, whatever. So it's 40, make like, usually two songs, three songs, $100, whatever. So, okay. But you gotta understand how fast this is, And then now my friend, I don't want to say his name, but this is like how he would do it. He basically do that, and then before she leaves, he goes, "Look, I know you can't leave with me here. I know that there's a code, a rule at the strip clubs, but he says, oh, I'll give you my number," kind of thing. So he writes a number down, and then he says, "Call me like in 3 days or something." I go to school, like, and then a lot of the strip girls that work in the strip clubs, they live across town. Like I go dancing far away, they live far away. And my friend, he goes and meets her outside of the community college. He's going to school. The girl, he picks her up, but so he pays. Then he pays for hotel, and then probably either 300 to 500 for her, for him to have about an hour of fun, and that's it, So now again, so that girl, she can make like, money from that, just from at the club, and then from good clients, like repeat clients, you know, usually, they give you, now I've heard of like the GFE, that's like 1,500, the girlfriend experience kind of thing. But we're talking back in the day, like 500 was decent money, 300. So it's just like, do you see how this all boils down to like money and opportunity? Now, again, I know I'm not saying every girl's a call girl, but you know what? In a way, they are. They are available if the price is right. They're available for a multitude of things, whether it be modeling, whether it be like, escorting, whether it be dinner dates, or, just getting their time. I don't care if she's a waitress. I don't care if she's a bartender. I don't care. Like, you put up that kind of money, it shows that you're serious, like you're interested in their, because only in the movies they go, no, I don't need your money kind of thing. Well, they do need it. They do need it, and they will take it, and they will see how much more there is behind that. Like, they're not stupid. They don't be fooled by what you see, like in the movies and stuff, because the movies, there might be elements of reality in there, but the reality is that money costs. They need the money to pay for shit. If they have pets, all that shit costs fucking money. Their hair, their makeup, their outfits, their cars, everything. That money is important. Even if they have money, even if they have their own money, they're still looking for more opportunity. And that equates to money. So it just, again, you would think like at my gym, you would see tons of women, good-looking women working out all the time, but and there's sometimes they come in there, like I would see, but the majority, you get these gays. Like, I just don't get it, like I it's just, it's very surprising that you would think going out dancing, like when all the years, everything, like even recently, like it would be easier. You might meet somebody, you might see something. Oh wow, like I could just tell you like all goose eggs, like zeros. Like I mean, I'm not saying they look like zeros. I'm saying like I'm not getting any hits. Like I'm not winning anything. You're not doing this right. You didn't ask her for a phone number. That one. Look, you ever hear this thing? Don't try so hard, and things will happen. And sometimes, yeah, you don't try hard enough, and nothing happens. I mean, it's a conundrum. It's catch 22. It's no guaranteed anything. Anyway, that's it. I'm sorry. I just, you know, sometimes like when you're really brutally honest, when I talk on here, people they're gonna get very offended. Like, and that's fine because most people out there they don't want to hear like this real truth. Because people don't want that exposed. They don't want to be like, well, you're just saying this and that. Well, you know what? A lot of stuff, most of the stuff I'm saying is backed up by real facts, and not facts created by me. Real statistics, real research, real life experiences that I've gone and and backed up by many guys that have told me, that I'm not crazy. Like, this is the way it works. It's not just you. It's tough out there, man. Well, it's tough for you. Like, I thought it's just me. Anyway, so as I always say, the best investment you can make is in yourself. And again, I don't mind giving women a little money if I get something, in return. But that's it. I think you're gonna meet somebody and you're gonna really hit it off and have things in common. I've been dancing for fucking 30 years. I'm not exaggerating. You gonna tell me there's somebody like me out there? There's a 49-year-old woman in good shape that goes out dancing all the time, that looks good. That no, because it's not. A woman's gonna be bombarded by fucking guys. These Mexicans that fucking. I go all the way out to this fucking place. I never seen one. I went to this all Hispanic place one time. I don't know why, but it was a Saturday night. I couldn't get back from downtown. Not one fucking woman came up and danced with me. Because in their culture, in Hispanic culture, it's a connection. There was like a real salsa kind of place. Salsa, close, it's like a connection thing. Because no woman wanted to connect with me. Now, I'm not saying that Latino women don't go with white guys. I'm not saying that no woman wants me. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you, based on my experience, my life experience, and where I go and what I see and how people act and how difficult it is. So, you know, do is be yourself. And if that ain't good enough for anybody, then you know what? I don't know what to tell you. I don't. If it ain't good enough for anybody, it ain't good enough for anybody. I mean, I think that's why these people, these women, they marry their pets. They got these pets out here. They got their dogs, and that's good enough for them. It's a backwards cop out, of settling, admitting defeat. I love animals, but an animal is not a soulmate. It's a cop out for somebody that just doesn't understand what like what the real reality. A man and woman is supposed to be together, and in this backwards, this fucking place, this Los Angeles, because of the dynamic of wealth and media and everything, just has warped and skewed all that. And I get it. People want a good life. They see the nice house, they're rich, and then who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? You know, and that's what has changed. That's why all these women. That's why That's why they look at that. They go, yeah, I want the easy life, and they put on an act just to meet some guy, a real good act or whatever, and that's all they have to do is look good for them. That's it. That's all for now. I'm sorry. I just that you know what. I just again I could go on. It's an endless, endless, endless